Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing a Sunday watch list on all stocks that I kind of see having a good move, most likely happening within the next week. So this is the watch list for August 30th and we got 7 tickers to go over today. So we'll start off on Alibaba. This one's providing a lot of gaps recently. If you're on the daily chart you'll be able to see quite clearly. But it's creating a lot of gaps, and the good thing with gaps is that around 90% of all gaps get filled. So as long as Alibaba keeps making these gaps, yes, it means they're bearish because they're gapping down, but it will most likely come back and test these gaps. The good thing as well with trading gaps is that when it comes into kind of play into a new gap, it will most likely take the whole trade. So by that I mean if Alibaba comes and breaks through this 162, it will most likely come all the way to the 164, most likely in that one trading day if they're that close together as they are in that. So Alibaba is kind of coming into these gaps, and if so they could provide some good trading opportunities. Now onto the downside, if it does continue downwards, obviously that key level will be that 52-week low of 152.80, and if it breaks further down and creating a new low, then that 140 area will be that key level because it should provide a good bounce opportunity. So that is it on Alibaba. Now we'll go over to Dash, and on Dash you can see it's just been kind of consolidating but kind of swinging, well, like a consolidating area but large swings, and it is kind of consolidating at this first deviation on both the 4-hour and the daily. So what this most likely means is it is getting a lot of buying pressure, but people are kind of looking in profits, but it does kind of indicate that we will break up higher. So I'm kind of waiting for Dash to kind of break out of this, probably be looking for that 195 196 area break. What I would consider a break is most likely a close above that 195.50. And when we can do that, we do have quite a wide profit target, and that would be around that 212 to 214 area. Would make good sense to lock in profits into that. So that does provide quite a big upside. If we quickly check, that does provide around a 9% move, which is quite achievable once we can break through that level. Now on to Draftkings, DKNG. The last few days it has had strong momentum, and we are actually personally trading this on the swing account at the moment. If you have been watching the recaps, it pulled back straight onto this deviation and continued up. When you see that, it's most likely when you see that, it's most likely going to go to that next deviation. So in this case that's at 62.85, so that's most likely where we will see DKNG get before it does a pullback from now on. When it does come into this area though, it would be kind of considered a good short area, so around the 62.85 to around 64.50 are areas I'm starting to look to get short on Draftkings. That's more of a swing. Trading it intraday, you could just trade the bounces you will most likely get off both of those levels. Etsy is another one that's been moving quite strong recently. Kind of keeps making these higher highs, which is obviously indicating a nice uptrend. So for right now we are kind of coming into just a upwards resistance, so that's most likely where we're getting this pullback, and we'll most likely pull back to this 206 level, 206.50 to be more precise. And the reason we also got that pullback here is because we did run into that midway deviation. The statistical mean when stocks come into here, you either get a pullback or a strong momentum push through. So that's most likely what we'll look at for the retest. If Etsy comes back and retests this 216 level, we will most likely get a strong breakthrough with a price target of around 226. And on the quite ambitious target of around 246. If it does come into this 246, however, that's where I would be looking to close out any longs and maybe start getting short. The reason for this short would be we'd be at the third deviation on the 4-hour and the first deviation on the daily, and two resistances, especially deviations very close together, will more likely at least be a large pullback, if not the end of the trend. Now going on to GM, General Motors. This will actually provide a really good trading opportunity. If you're in the Discord, I've already posted this on here, and I really want GM to carry on downwards. If GM can get down to this 43 kind of 50 area, to the 42.90 areas. This is where I would be looking to get long with a large swing position. Reason for this is it would be very low risk, especially as on the 4 hour we would be on the third deviation, and large caps, well, what it usually means is on the third deviations is 99.5% of data or 99.7% of data should be within the green deviation bands. So if GM, which is a large cap stock which follow deviations a lot better, came into this level, it would be a very low risk entry. So I would personally be getting in with quite large size, especially at that 42.85, but would definitely be getting in with some size at the 43.50. Now going on to Peloton. I did a stock analysis on this, I believe, a day or two ago, where we kind of said what our plans for was on this stock. But as you can see with Peloton, we have created a new gap here, so should provide a good trading opportunity into that gap. Also, we are coming in, if we do continue downwards, that 47 level will be most likely provide a good bounce area, and that could be the finish of the down move, or could just provide a good bounce, most likely up into the 206 area, more likely at the minimum. But yeah, if it does continue down, obviously we got the other price targets. Check out the analysis if you want to see how else we would be trading Peloton. Lastly, on to Rite Aid. This is providing a few good opportunities. Firstly, we've got the gap at this 118.30 to around 19.40. So when Rite Aid is able to kind of break into this area, we most likely clear that in one day, maybe over two. So that's one thing we are noticing, is kind of getting this V-shape more recovery, or kind of W recovery coming into this 18.30. If we can close or get into the 18.35, it will most likely provide a good opportunity to that 19.40. Also, Rite Aid is bouncing off the first deviation on both the 4 hour and the daily, so it will most likely, I can see it kind of coming into this 18.30, and also the end of this gap would be the first deviation on the 4 hour, which would most likely cause a pullback and the selling pressure to start. So would provide a good opportunity to, if you are getting long at that 18.35, to lock in profits at that 19.40, maybe a bit before, in case the selling pressure starts before. So that's it on the kind of Sunday watch list. They're the main stocks I'm watching, at least in a kind of day trading and swing trading performance. Mainly a lot of gaps to be filled. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.